and good morning, San Luis Obispo. I'm really happy to be here. I can still remember the first day of my Western Civilization course at UCSB. The professor opened class with, "Civilization began with beer." Now, at the ripe age of 20, that really caught my attention. The professor went on to explain that early human groupings had every reason to fear a neighboring clan or tribe and that they were out to get them. But when they sat down over a beer, their guard was lowered, they saw each other face to face and began to trust one another. And after that, people began to work together for life's necessities like food production, defense, shelter, and transport. People quickly learned that they could do things together that they could not do on their own. Prosperity increased when the hill people got along with the valley people, and the valley people had better relations with the coastal people. If we fast forward a few thousand years, we recognize that cooperation continues to bear fruit, and I'm here to talk about some modern examples about how communities can thrive by working more collaboratively. Today's movement involves government, yes, but it also involves leaders in chambers of commerce, education, business, and bold pioneers who are working to strengthen our economic, social, and environmental potential. It's happening right here in San Luis Obispo and in northern Santa Barbara counties. This movement is known as regionalism. At its core, regionalism is simply the practice that calls on leadership and expertise from an expanded area to produce results better than those associated with established hyper-local systems of administrative, economic, cultural, or political relationships. As Ermina mentioned, many of us saw an example of this past summer during our Denver trip. There, the Denver Economic Development Corporation succeeded in transforming and diversifying their economy over the last 3 decades from one that was dependent on oil and gas. Today, it has a thriving tech, financial, and research base. They also did something really incredible. They also spearheaded the construction of the nation's only new airport in the last 25 years and completed the nation's largest single transit build-out. Truly remarkable. And they did so in a way that reinforced one thing that I believe is a core value of the chamber and of our community, that cooperation and collaboration can be a higher form of living together because groups of people with diverse interests develop better, stronger ideas, broader buy-in, leverage strengths, and minimize weaknesses. They also operate under a regional code of ethics that is agreed upon guide to promoting the long-term economic health of the Denver community. We have every reason to think that these kind of concepts can work here in our region as well. The communities of our region are determined to lead with a we before me approach that advocates for a coordinated planning to address the biggest issues of the day. These include the closure of the Diablo Canyon nuclear power plant and our efforts to attract new businesses to drive the economic viability of the Central Coast. Regionalism is a good fit for our county communities on issues such as creating affordable housing, long-term maintenance and upgrade of water, energy, and transportation infrastructure, and doing so in a way that addresses climate action goals such as community choice energy. This last year, as many of you know, regionalism was a key factor in helping our communities respond to disasters and emergencies. Think about Montecito. You may have recently seen in the newspaper, reported in the news, something called the Code of Civility. The Code of Civility is a regional agreement, a written understanding in what earlier epoch of civilization were those terms agreed upon over that glass of beer. The Code of Civility is a simple promise local leaders made to each other and to the people and institutions they serve to conduct debates in a way that allow for the widest range of opinions on ideas and policies. They must also respect the dignity, integrity, and rights of those whom they might disagree. The code was signed by all 7 mayors and the Board of Supervisors. The code recognizes that talking to one another is the first step to working with one another. I am really proud here to stand today and acknowledge what I believe to be a pivotal moment for regionalism in our community. I will ask representatives of this region to stand as a show of support and commitment in their own way to build regionalism. We can take heart that regionalism will be the building a future that highlights the strength of our region and the diversity of resources that make it great now will make it great in the future. Here's my ask of you today and this morning, is to join and support leaders in business, education, and in government as we embark on this journey. Imagine what is possible, whether it is over a cup of coffee, beer, or whatever activates your better self, and together, let's invent the future we want.
Oh, that's it.